In this video, we're going to look at UML diagrams as they're described in the book UML Distilled by Martin Fowler. I highly recommend this book if you want to understand UML. Fowler really focuses on just the essential parts of the unified modeling language. The book also contains one of the best and most concise descriptions I've seen of iterative development in Chapter 2. Chapter 1 of UML Distilled gives a brief introduction to the unified modeling language. Fowler says that UML is a family of graphical notations, meaning diagrams, that are backed by a single metamodel. Being backed by a single metamodel just means that the UML has a somewhat formal foundation. For the purposes of most developers, understanding the diagrams is the most important aspect of UML. Finally, remember that UML was designed with object-oriented languages in mind. That doesn't mean you can't use it if you're not going to be implementing your system with an object-oriented language. It just means that it was designed primarily for object-oriented development. There are three ways of using UML: as a sketch, as a blueprint, and as a programming language. The most common way of using UML is as a sketch. Developers quickly diagram some aspect of the system on a whiteboard. Someone takes a picture of it with their computer or their phone and uploads it to some central repository as a reference document that is not meant to be kept up to date with the system. UML as a blueprint means that the UML documentation, the diagrams, is meant to mirror the code. In particular, with class diagrams, there are tools that help you do this. Some tools allow you to create the class diagrams, and then they generate stubs for classes that you have to fill in with the implementations. This is called forward engineering. Some tools will analyze the code you've written and then create class diagrams from that. This is called reverse engineering. And of course, some tools will do both. People like me who like to use UML as a sketch sometimes get annoyed with UML tools that automatically generate class diagrams from code. The diagrams are often cluttered with crisscrossing arrows and a wealth of information that's not really relevant to the problem you're trying to solve. When I ask students to hand in a UML diagram as part of an assignment, I'll often ask them not to use those kind of tools. I want them to learn to present the diagrams in such a way that focuses on what's important. There's one other way to use UML, and that is as a programming language. Now, this is not very common, and it requires sophisticated tools. In all my years of teaching professional developers, I've never met anyone who uses UML in this way. If it turns out that you have, then by all means, I'd love to hear about it. Okay, this is Fowler's advice. Obviously, he's coming from the UML as a sketch camp. Good and legal UML is best, he says, but focus on design. Being able to look at a UML diagram and get a rough idea of what the code will look like is more than sufficient to justify creating the diagrams.